Hello everyone, I'm Teresa and today I'm going to talk about the Major Arcana card number 20, Judgement. Welcome back to yet another tarot video, and today the topic is the card number 20 from the Major Arcana. This is the penultimate card of the Major Arcana, and I can't believe this part of the tarot series is coming to an end pretty soon. Just 2 videos left, this and another one. And even though we are reaching the end of the Major Arcana, this may be the first video of my tarot series that you are watching. And if that is the case, let me reassure you that I'm not going to overload you with keywords or key sentences or meanings to memorize. In my videos, I explore the cards and I help you see the elements present on the cards, what meaning they bring into a reading, and how just the picture of the card itself can help you when you aren't very confident doing readings yet. And always remember that we all look at things from different perspectives, so it is perfectly normal to disagree or to feel something that I say is slightly different to you. You feel things differently. Learning from different sources and investigating elements from different points of view is always a good practice, something that I do advise because it helps you shape your view of the tarot, and in a way it helps you to improve your intuition, to make your intuition work better and in your favor. So Judgment is the card number 20, and this is a number that starts a new cycle. We are out of the tens or teens still, so to speak, and we are now into the 20s. So a new cycle, but we are taking the same approach as before. By splitting the numbers, we have the 2, and the number 2 is a number tied to balance, to partnership and dualism. I always look at the number 2 sort of as in a pair or a couple, standing together, working together, balancing each other out to move forward. Number 2 is also a number linked to duality and opposites. Keep that in mind. On the other hand, we have the number 0, and this is the number of nothing and everything at the same time. If we look back at the beginning of the Major Arcana, the number 0 is the card of the Fool, a card of beginnings and innocence. The number 0 is a circle, no ending and no beginning. It's an infinite loop. It keeps everything and nothing inside. If we look at the method of adding up, we will end up adding 2 and 0, and we'll get back at the number 2. So Judgment cards numbers to consider are just the 0 and the number 2. New beginnings and balance duality. Okay, pretty simple. Now let's move on and look at the card's elements. Most obvious element here is the red-winged angel hovering on top of this card. This angel is blowing some sort of trumpet, while below there are humans. And these humans are naked and they are using sort of some boxes to keep afloat in an immense body of water. So this card is very straight to the point with the image and even the name, the meaning of it. So it's a very easy to understand card. It's very easy to understand the basis of it. So this whole scene calls out to the idea of the Last Judgment, where the world is sort of coming to an end and the souls of those still on earth are being called for their last judgment. Those who played by the rules will rise and those that didn't shall perish. And that's pretty much what we are observing here. This angel is calling out the souls for their last judgment. The angel itself has red wings and bits of red in his hair, and you know by now that red in tarot is a very fiery color of passion and action, but also of anger and violence, so on. So we have the color red not only on the angel's wings, but also on the flag that is sort of connected to the trumpet. The trumpet is the wake-up call, the loud trumpet that shakes us from whatever we are paying attention to and start looking up at the calling of the angel. And this flag has a red cross and on a white background. Again, red is the active passion and white is purity and clarity. So this cross bears a message of safety, of protection and peace. But this flag can also be related to St. George's cross. St. George was a martyr warrior that, according to legend, died for his faith. Also worth mentioning is the fact that the angel's blouse is blue, like the water and the sky. Blue is a color very linked to spirituality and to healing. Okay, it's a color that helps to calm down, and as such is linked to reflection, to meditation. Also, while still talking about colors, notice how the clouds are gray, and even the people on the bottom of the card are sort of a bluish gray. Gray is the color you get by mixing white and black, opposites. The balance of both colors, two opposites, the idea of duality. But enough of colors. Who is this angel after all? There are quite a few debates here and there about what angel is represented on this card. Two names that people most associate with this card are the archangels Gabriel and Michael. Personally, I don't follow the angel-themed lore, and I usually don't see this angel as any specific angel at all. I don't feel it makes much of a difference to me. However, let's see what the Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael represents so you can think for yourself and see for yourself if they fit the card. What do you feel about it? Gabriel is the messenger of God. So in a way, he is the angel of revelations, of announcements. He was the one that announced the birth of Jesus. And this angel has been depicted carrying a trumpet. So by this version, this angel could be the spiritual call we need, the announcement of something higher than ourselves. But on the other hand, we can be looking at the Archangel Michael, the archangel that battles evil and weights souls. In a way, he is the angel of safety and care. He has been depicted holding scales used to weigh souls and aid them carry on to heaven. He alone gives each soul the last chance to redeem themselves before moving on. So in this version, the angel isn't just the superior calling, but he could be the one doing the judgment itself, evaluating our past actions and our willingness to redeem ourselves. So you see that both of them make sense to be the angel represented on this card. I personally would probably lean more towards the Archangel Michael, because there are depictions of the Archangel Michael on the Last Judgment, waiting souls. But given the meaning of the card, it can honestly work with both. Let me know what you think. Now moving on to the humans below the angel, they aren't up above in the clouds, they are still on earth. They are all naked, this way there are no secrets, nothing hidden under clothes. They are in the purest way possible, plus this way they are all equals when facing judgment. One isn't more valuable than the other for having expensive clothes, for example. However, notice how their skin is gray, and they are all floating in wood boxes. These are supposed to represent coffins, and coffins represent the end, death. You bury them and that part of life is, in a way, gone. So these people are in coffins to represent coming to terms with their past life situation, with their past life mistakes. Not only that, but also it means a rebirth, a resurrection, coming back from the dead. We can experience rebirth when we leave an old life behind and start fresh. A new life, a new career, a new set of dreams and expectations. Worthy of note is that these people are also floating in water. And here water brings us the element of emotions, but also the idea of the pool of the collective unconscious. Diving into a body of water, into the spiritual side of ourselves, is obviously an important message in this card and opens up room for the spiritual awakening that happens when we get in touch with our own unconscious. Lastly, notice the mountains on the background. These are the past obstacles that one has to overcome in order to reach this moment, the hardships and the battles that are now left behind. Okay, as for astrological relations, this card is associated with Pluto, and Pluto in astrology brings us the transformations and healings we need, sometimes in a brutal way that can take us to the ground, leaving us in need to rebuild back up like a rebirth. Pluto is also the Roman god of the underworld, a version of the Greek Hades. Again, the idea of helping the souls of the dead into the afterlife, or in the case of this card, the souls of those going through judgment into their new life. Now let's talk about this card show up on a reading. What can it mean? It sure doesn't mean you will end up in a coffin floating in the open sea, okay? None of that. Getting this card on a reading is for most a sign that A wake-up call is upon you, a spiritual awakening, realization of something that will transform your life, sort of like an epiphany. It's time to let go of the past as the chance for a new life is here, but it really needs you to change. A life-changing decision can be at hand, but this decision needs to be made in sort of a spiritual way, in tune with your heart more than with your mind. There's the idea of leaving behind the past, no matter how bright or dark it was, and by doing this, you will reach salvation, a new and more positive stage in your life. The idea of judgment can also be taken quite literally with this card, but unlike, for example, the card of justice, where judgment was given in fairness according to the rules of humankind, here is more of a spiritual judgment, a spiritual justice, so to speak. You can be called to make a decision or be between two possible paths. Getting this card upright is a sign that the right choice will be made, but it will bring a new state of spiritual awareness. What about this card on reversed? When reversed, this card is not as positive, and it can indicate that the choice made was the wrong one. You used your judgment poorly and ended up with the wrong decision. Lack of spiritual connection and not taking the lessons from the past into consideration may have led you to the wrong conclusion, to the wrong judgment. There's the idea of disconnection with your spiritual self. And this reversed card urges you to reconnect with it, okay? To reflect upon your situation, to really meditate the life questions that are keeping you troubled or stuck. There is confusion and maybe some turmoil as you are being kept behind by your unwillingness to hear the angel's trumpet. You may be afraid to let go of the past and to redeem yourself into a new chapter of your life. But this trumpet will not stop until you hear it and pay attention to it, because you do need to choose which path you will take. This is everything for this card. I'm really curious about everyone's opinion on this one, because I have heard so many different ways to read it. So share your opinion with me by leaving a comment, and remember to give this video a thumbs up before you leave. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel but want to know when I upload new videos, then I strongly suggest you to subscribe. You'll be among the first people to know when a new video is uploaded, and you'll be up to date with everything I do. Remember that my social media links are on the description box down below. If you are curious about what I do on other platforms as well, you can go and check them out. And if you enjoy my tarot videos, you can also support my channel and my work by donating a coffee on my Ko-fi account. Every donation is deeply appreciated. I will see you on the next video for the last card of the Major Arcana. Stay safe. Bye.